Yeah, yeah, yeah. Football feast, football feast. This the football feast extra podcast. Hey, football feast, football feast, football feast extra podcast. Playing soccer, grabbing keys. Playing soccer, time to meet. Playing soccer, time to greet. They finna talk a lot, okay? Playing soccer, get the cleats. Playing soccer, let's get it. Playing soccer, let's go. Football podcast.
Welcome back, episode 4. We were going to have a guest today, Ben Gilbert, but he has mugged us off for a date.
Oh, well, I suppose it's all right, isn't it?
He can show his bird this, or his date this, get a few brownie points.
Yeah.
Also, proper mug.
Yeah, muggy behaviour.
Today, we are going to... So normally it would have been Ben's, because he was a guest to his five-a-side team, but instead we're going to do ours. We're going to talk some transfers. Barron's got a great quiz, apparently.
You'll like it.
A few listener questions. And yeah, let's crack on. Also, before we do the five-a-side thing, just want to ask everyone on TikTok to put theirs in the comments when we put it on TikTok.
Yeah, definitely.
See who they support and what five-a-side teams. Mine possibly could be worse than Tom's.
Really?
Yeah. Because like I said, I've gone for my favourites instead of what I think would be the best team.
George Pickford goal.
No. He's not in.
No. Are we? How are we going to do it? Are we going to do like the full team and like do it each, or are we going to do like goalkeepers and then do it like that?
I was thinking just individually because it's five-a-side.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll start off with Barron.
Yeah, I'll go first. Right, so my team is kind of it is probably my favourite team, but it is also probably generally what I think is, well, probably 4 out of 5 players, the best team. So I'll start with my goalkeeper because I know Bill's going to love this one.
Oh, no, it ain't.
I went for Aaron Ramsdale.
No, he did not.
I knew.
No.
I decided realistically, right? I've watched Arsenal a lot of years. Obviously, we all know probably David Seaman has probably been our greatest ever goalkeeper. So he probably is our height, is number one.
Oh, what, you being serious?
Yeah, I'm being deadly serious. And then
I was joking.
No, I'm being deadly serious here. And then I thought to myself, actually, that's quite boring, isn't it? So maybe I'll go for a bit of Lens Lehmann because he was the Invincibles, and he had 2 unbelievable. That year we got to the Champions League final. We did concede goal in the Champions League at all. Still the only goalkeeper, I believe, to do so. But then I thought, yeah, and then got sent off the final. And then I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to go Aaron Ramsdale because I like the lad, and it would really miff Bill off. And a bit like what Andrew said before we went on air, because we support the same team, I was hoping we'd have different players. So that's what I went with. So I have gone for Aaron Ramsdale.
That's cool. Then I guess the other day not having Harry Kane in his Tottenham team. You wouldn't pick David Seaman. What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't pick. Yeah, I like David Seaman. Really like him. Loved him on the Masked Singer. Shout out David. And yeah, that's what I've done. Right, so that was a bit of a thingy thing. So now, like the players I've actually gone for, I've sort of gone for like obviously a goalkeeper, sort of 1-1-2. I've gone for as a little formation. If we are talking about formations or not. Okay. So my first one, I went for Mr. Arsenal himself, Tony Adams, because he was just. I just think. Bit of a one-man club, was there for so long. I think it speaks for itself. I was toying with the idea of Sol Campbell because I do love Sol Campbell, but I did go for Tony Adams. Then my midfielder, who I think probably would be in everyone's team, is Patrick Vieira, just because he's box to box. He can help out the defence, he can get forward. And then with my 2 sort of strikers forwards, I went for a Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry trio. I mean, I could have gone for loads. I'm not going to name them all to you now because we ain't got enough time. Unless you want me to, because I will sit here and name them.
That's all right, because they might be in my team.
But that was basically what I went with. I went Ramsdale to annoy Bill, because we have our ongoing joke, who's better, Pickford or Ramsdale. You can throw that in the socials if you want to know, like, give us an opinion on yours. Adams, Vieira, Bergkamp, Henry. I think that's taken on a lot of five-a-side teams, isn't it? That's going to do well.
I think it's up there with Gary's. Probably best one we've had so far, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the players are mental, aren't they?
Yeah.
Until we get a Chelsea United fan on, yours is probably going to be the best, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay. Should we
Andrew?
in the middle? Because otherwise we're going to have two Arsenal teams in a row.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted
go
to...
on
Yeah,
then.
all right.
Go on then, Barron. What would you go for?
No, I was going to say go Andrew, and then we can compare our two teams and see what we got. But no, if you want to go Bill first, that's fine.
Bill, yeah, and then I'll go after. So we've got a bit of a break.
So my goalkeeper was Thomas Sorensen, legend at the club. My defender is kind of he played left back, but
It don't matter.
mainly the wing. Very attacking team. I've gone Julio Walker
I knew you were going to say that when you said he was a winger.
because I fucking loved that guy when I was a kid. So I've gone with my favourite players instead.
He was still playing football up until a couple of years ago, non-league for South Shields, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's their manager now.
Is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Kevin Phillips was last season, got promoted. He left, and Harker came in.
Oh, really? Fair play.
Yeah, I've gone with two in midfield. I've gone for Jan and Villa.
Yeah.
Good player.
Who was just-
Envia, I like to see her. That was the song, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. That guy was
Yeah.
a rock for us, and that's when it all went wrong. He literally begged to come back, and David Moyes didn't sign him, and he signed Didier Ndong, who played about 4 times, and then went AWOL. 15 mil well spent. Then we got relegated. And my other midfielder was Stefan Sessegnon.
I forgot about him.
He was such a good player. Like, he was one of them players that only turned up when he could be bothered. But when he could be bothered, he's probably the best football player I've ever seen play for Sunderland. And striker is Kevin Phillips, obviously.
Yeah, striker was a no-brainer.
Adam Johnson, right, was so close to going into my team, but I just couldn't do it. Because I think he's probably one of the best players that's ever played for Sunderland as well. But obviously,
Yeah, he probably is.
for reasons of his own doing, he's not made my team.
So you've gone with one defender, 2 midfielders, and a striker.
Yeah, I'm thinking Jan and Villa could kind of do a bit of both.
Box to box, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone the same as you. I've gone one defender, 2 midfielders, and a striker. So I did go for David Seaman in goal. I did think about Ramsdale. I'm not gonna lie. I did actually. It's not like it wasn't completely just because of the way he plays. I was thinking, do I want a keeper that can play out from the back in a 5-a-side? You know, that is good with their feet, that can come into the defence. But no, I did go with Seaman because he's the greatest keeper that ever played for Arsenal. Now the defender might be a bit controversial, but hear me out. I went for Ashley Cole because he's a one-on-one defender and can also contribute to the attack. So he's not just a defender. He's quick, he can defend, he can attack, he can do it all. So I think for 5-a-side, I would want Ashley Cole in there over the rest. I'm not saying he's
Deep.
I think you've lost your head.
Yeah,
No,
he's cut
honestly.
deep.
Secret Chelsea fan.
You've got to do it on the quality of the player, not who they are and where they went.
I don't even know who this Ashley Cole is anymore.
But no, honestly, like if you want someone that can defend and can help attack and sort of come into midfield, then you would pick someone like him. Sol Campbell was like the close second for me. At midfield, it gets a bit more obvious. Vieira in midfield, and I also put Fabregas in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that one.
And then Omri obviously up front.
Yeah. Well.
So no Lundberg, no Perez.
It's hard, didn't it? You only got to pick 5, didn't you?
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Like, I could have gone five up top. Do you know what I mean? I could have just gone. I could have put Ramsdale and goal and gone just 4 strikers. I mean, we've had so many good players over the years. But I mean, as long as in my opinion, as long as you've got like probably Vieira and Omri in there, I think most Arsenal fans are going to say, well, yeah, then they build their team around it, didn't they?
Yeah, first
I think
easily.
Mine compared to like if I was going to pick an Arsenal one, it would probably be Barron's, but with David Seaman.
Yeah,
and then you can't really go wrong with Adams, Vieira, Bergkamp, and Omri.
I mean, 3 of them are
That was
invincible.
going to be both for yours, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think you could go wrong with any of them really. Like any of these players, you can have any combination of 5 of them, and they'd probably beat most teams.
Yeah.
go. Well, yeah, yours is probably the best so far. We'll wait until we get a Chelsea fan on, or
A Chelsea team would be good, wouldn't it? Because they've had when we were. What was I doing? I was looking at something a little while ago, and some of the teams that they've had. I think I was telling this at football actually when I was playing the other week. I see a lineup of Chelsea's in like 2015 or something like that. It might have been a bit early, a bit late, or whatever. It don't really matter the year. And they had 9 international captains in their starting 11, like their countries.
They've had.
I mean, you imagine that? No wonder why they went on to win like so much stuff.
You forget some of them as well. Like, probably no one would put Ballack in there. Who's probably one of the greatest midfielders in that, like in his position.
He was one of the names. He was the Germany captain at the time.
Yeah.
And then you had like, I know some of them a bit weirder, like John Obi Mikel. He was the Nigerian captain at the time. You had John Terry in there, who was England captain. And mate, they had some unbelievable players. Like, you sort of forget.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Who would you pick out of their strikers? You got Shevchenko, Crespo, Drogba.
Drogba all day.
I think Drogba is the one, in it, because he just, as much as he had like 18 months where he was like a bit useless and a bit of a donkey, he ended up being probably one of the greatest strikers ever to play.
That would all depend if you're picking a player on Chelsea, because if not, surely you would pick Shevchenko over Drogba.
I don't think I would, because he didn't have a very
Overall.
successful Chelsea career. If you're looking at like,
No, that's what I'm saying.
players,
If you're not going for Chelsea, if you're just going for like players that Chelsea have had.
I mean, Hernan Crespo was unbelievable as well, but he never really cut it for Chelsea either, did he? I mean, before he joined them, I mean, they've had some
Shevchenko was in that
players.
Milan team that, it was unbelievable. Yeah, maybe I would go Shevchenko if it was like their entire career, but just the Chelsea, definitely Drogba.
We'll
I
just
just think
Chelsea fan on.
Yeah.
We'll get loads of. Hopefully, there'll be some TikTok listeners that have Chelsea fans.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
mine's probably the worst so far out of all the 5-a-side teams. We need like a Peterborough fan on or something.
Accrington Stanley.
Yeah, that will do. Okay, I think Tom's actually could be better than mine. I'm not sure.
I can't remember what Tom's was now. I'd have to go back. Yeah.
No,
He put some good ones in though, didn't he? He left out some mental players. Left out like the Canio and stuff like that.
Did he really? I bet he had Scott Parker in there, didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah,
I think he had
did.
Scott Parker.
Yeah.
Matt Howland.
No, I don't think.
What was his name? Wasn't it Romadal? Was it Romadal? Was that his name? The winger.
I think he
Is Romadal?
He
wasn't a bad little player. He was quick, wasn't he? Just like.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not talking about Charlton anymore. Boring of that.
Yeah. Well, we'll put yours 2 up and we'll see who gets the most votes on that one.
Think. 70 votes we get.
I think I'll win the Ramsdale shout.
That's terrible.
This podcast is sponsored by fantasy novel The Beckoning. By up-and-coming author T.L. Campbell, it's the first in the Wolves of War series that is available on Amazon now.
Let's talk about Rice then.
Right, okay. What do you want to talk about? Because I'm just going to let the listeners know something now. Our friend here, Billy, Mr. Bill, as I like to call him sometimes, he seems to think that we have brought a Gareth Barry, basically. Now, I was meant to do this earlier, and I'm going to make myself look like a right twit now, if I'm wrong. But, like, I just don't... I think Gareth Barry was, like, more of a holding player, like a holding midfielder, right? Yeah, well, I think we all established that. He weren't known for scoring goals, whereas, like, Declan Rice is box to box. And I know you're saying, like, 100 million is too much for a player of his quality or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know, do you? Because you haven't seen him play yet, or you haven't seen him in an Arsenal shirt. It might be a new role. You know, you think a standard squad player nowadays for a Premier League club is 30, 40 million standard. Are we all agreeing on that? Like, and that might not even get in your first team. I mean, people like Brentford, how much Brentford trying to buy that Brendan Johnson for?
Yeah, 50 mil, innit? They want to smash the 50 mil
What's
transfer
that
thing for him.
That's mental.
He scored about 8 goals last season in the Premier League. You know, that's 50 million. You know, you're talking about a holding midfielder that plays for England like all the time, not like in and out of the England team. Like,
for Arsenal, he won't be box to box. He can't be box to box.
He probably won't
because you have Havertz and Odegaard.
Yeah, but we don't need him to be box to box.
So he needs to hold. So you have bought the 2023 version of Gareth Barry.
I don't think so. Personally, I think he does a lot. He's a captain. Talking about like Chelsea having loads of captains in their team. So I mean, he's captain West Ham for 2 years, probably longer than that. He's 24 years old. He's in his prime. He's got a good solid 10 years. If he plays for Arsenal for 10 years, it's 10 million a season. It's minor money. it's got your midfield sorted for the next, like I say, 10 years. You ain't, you know,
You
you
say
just
he
be
was the
buying.
captain of West Ham, right? If he
Yeah.
wasn't the captain of West Ham, who would be?
It doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter. The fact is, he is the captain. He is the vocal point.
Wasn't Gareth Barry captain for City?
David, maybe everyone captain for City. He's like, do you know what I mean? I mean, Gundogan was captain last season. They let him go for nothing. So I don't think you can really necessarily count that on City. I just think they give it to anyone they want.
He
But
did win a treble.
he was Aston Villa captain, I believe. But I don't know. It's your point. I mean, I've thrown loads of information at you, but like I get where you're coming from. It's a lot of money to spend on a holding midfielder, but these days that's what you got to spend, didn't you, to buy these players?
I must admit, holding midfielders are hard to come by.
I
There's
mean,
not many of them knocking around, is there?
no,
You probably couldn't name 10.
not class ones. No,
not world class ones.
I'm not
But it
saying
is a
that Declan
position-
Rice is world class, but I'm saying he is up. Like, you know, he's up there. He's got potential to be world class.
I just don't get it at all.
I just think you're a lot safer buying in the Prem, proven Prem. I've been saying this for years. I've said it for years. I'll keep saying it. I prefer it. I think Arsenal for years, obviously under Wenger and that, we managed to pick up these African players and these random players, French players and that, and they were really good for us. But then we have had a lot of flops as well. And you look, part of that reason why we have had that failure over the last few years is because we've probably been trying to get rid of them and getting new ones in. And now
I don't know you haven't bought another flop though.
Well, I don't think he will flop because he's been in the Premier League since he was 18, 17 years old. He was playing centre back. They moved him into centre midfield, holding midfield, whatever you want to call it. I just think this is a perfect fit for Arsenal. And with Odegaard and Havertz like left and right of him, and with Martinelli and Saka, mate, I think that midfield that screams title midfield for me. Screams it. And I'm like I said it last week, I said it week before, I said it week before that. I'm buzzing for this season. I actually think if Man City do slip up, we are definitely going to be there or thereabouts.
The only thing I don't get right is it's paid 105 mil for him, and then like I think you guys said earlier, like a lot of people saying he'd get into any other team in the world. He wouldn't get in the United team.
I think he would get in the
They
Man
got
United.
Casemiro.
Yeah,
They
they'd
got
play next
Casemiro.
to him,
He
wouldn't
ain't
he?
getting near Casemiro.
Yeah, but you're seeing it a different way, aren't you? If Man United went out and brought Declan Rice, they're buying him for 100 million and they're putting him in the first team because that's what they're going to do. They obviously weren't in for Declan Rice because they've got Casemiro. But if they didn't have Casemiro, they would probably have brought him, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm
Or
saying.
if they thought to themselves, yeah. But why did Man City not buy him? Because they didn't need him. You can't say just because you say that midfielder's there doesn't mean they weren't interested in him or they didn't want him. They just don't need him. So obviously, I don't really get what you're saying there. Because
that's what I'm saying. They don't need him. He's not needed. They paid 105
mil. They would have it if there was no financial fair play and all that. They probably would go buy him because why not? We'll have him. I just think what you're saying. It's a bit like, well, Man City ain't going to buy a striker, are they? Because they've got Haaland. They don't need him.
Yeah, exactly.
But they could buy another one if they wanted to.
They've already got better.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I mean, Man United are trying to buy that. Denmark bloke because he looks a bit like Haaland. Got a similar name.
Yeah, I did say that.
What's that about? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's 18 years old or something. He's called Hodland or something.
Yeah, I did see him.
They're trying to spend 35 million on him.
Andrew, what do you reckon?
Right, yeah. So with Rice, I think I said earlier, I don't think he's. It's hard to say he's worth over 100 million. It's hard to say that anyone's worth over 100 million, unless you're talking like Messi, Ronaldo sort of quality. But in this market, like Billy said, there's not many CDMs out there. Like you can name 5 or 6, and most of them are in the Premier League that are any good. I can't really think of any that are abroad. Look, Kimmich maybe. Whoever Andrew got, obviously Bellingham. He's not really holding any sort of box to box, but there's not that many. So I think the problem is that the teams in the Premier League don't need Rice because they're the teams with the CDMs, the alternatives. The only other one I can think of is Caicedo, that we could have possibly gone in for. So I'm glad that we got him. I as much as I'm thinking he's probably not worth 100 million, I'm glad we paid it because if we'd have failed in getting him, I don't know what we would have done. I don't know what Plan B would have been. So I think it's good for Arsenal, but I get how it looks from the outside. I don't agree with the Gareth Barry comparisons though. Like, I think he's got more to him than Gareth Barry, but we'll have to see in the next coming up seasons. But yeah, the 105 million is a bit much for me.
I personally
Fabry
don't
was
think
actually a very good player.
I actually don't think it's that bad, actually, 100 million, because it's 100 million, not 105 million. You've got to remember that it's add-ons. Like, the add-ons are probably if you win the Premier League, Champions League, that might not even happen. But, like, they've got to pay out 100 million, in 2 years. That's 25 million every 6 months. Mate, they'll make that back in commercial, whatever. It's not a lot of money for Arsenal these days. And I just think it's a good way of buying players. 25 million now, 25 million, 6 million, 25 million, 18 months, done.
Unless you're a massive brand like a Ronaldo or a Messi, a Beckham.
How much is
100 mil
Haaland
is just
worth?
insane.
How much is
Well, how much are they buying
is
for?
36 goals? How much is 36 goals a season worth to your club?
What'd they pay for him? 60 mil?
I think it was, no, it wasn't even that, was it? He had a release clause in his contract, didn't he, of like 48 million or something stupid. It was ridiculously cheap.
Rodri
But
went to City for 70 mil.
Yeah, Rodri.
That's 30 million cheaper than Declan Rice.
But
A few years ago, though, isn't it?
Remember, when they brought him, no one had even heard of him. No one even knew who he was. The fact that he's now
a gamble.
Probably the best holding midfielder in the league. But how much is Haaland worth now?
Oh, well, when he goes to like Madrid, 150, 200.
I mean, 36 goals a season. I know he's only done it in one season, but how much is that worth? I mean,
you can't tell me Declan Rice is only 50 mil cheaper than a Haaland.
I'll tell you what, if he wins us the Premier League this season, he'll be the signing of the season.
It's easy to tell with strikers because it's like, oh, how many goals have they scored? Oh, cool, they've scored 50 goals or whatever. Yeah, that must be worth it. With holding midfielders, it's very hard to put a price on it because obviously you're not going to get the goals or the assists. You have to just watch them and see if you think they're worth that. So it is a lot harder to price a holding midfielder, I think.
Andrew, your echo thing's not on, by the way.
I know, I can't turn it off now.
Oh, fair enough.
Because we're recording.
I just, I mean, I get what you're saying, but then like you'll probably turn around and say 16 million for Havertz is too much. Or I'm trying to think of other signings now, but obviously I've only really been paying attention to Arsenal ones mainly.
The Havertz one, there's a player in there. Obviously, last season everyone was bad.
Yeah,
but like when you see him play for Germany, not so much recently, like in the last couple of months. But he scored the winner of the Champions League, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I'm more worried out of the three of them. I'm most worried about is Timber because he's never played in the Premier League at a high standard. 40 million for a bloke who's never played in the Premier League, only played Dutch football. That's a massive risk, really.
All transfers are risky if you're paying that much money. I just think it's mad.
That's what I mean. Like Timber might not even be a first team player, and we're paying 40 million for him. Do you know what I mean?
I don't even blame Arsenal. It's just a state of football, isn't it? That Declan Rice does cost you 100 mil these days.
I mean, it's like I said ages ago, I think, on one of the different episodes. When, like, Fernando Torres, for example, went for that 50 million in that January transfer, and everyone was like, what the hell? That's well loads of money. The FA, or maybe not the FA, UEFA, because it'd have to be in the top league, FIFA, should have just said, bang, right, that's the max you can pay for players now, and that's it. And the league would be fairer, like, there would be you wouldn't really need financial fair play, because that's all you can spend. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, and same with wages. When it hit the £100,000 barrier, they should have said that is just far too much money. No one needs to earn that much money. Like, I mean, obviously people do earn like loads of money in that in like other jobs, but yeah, it's just one of them.
That's loads of money. 700 grand a week. Jordan Henderson, Saudi Arabia. 700 grand a week for Jordan Henderson. I love Jordan Henderson, obviously. 700 grand a week. The bloke's gonna be getting.
Well, he's worth that, obviously, then, isn't he? I mean, you're moaning at Declan Rice going for 100 million. They're going to pay that bloke 700 grand a week.
Yeah, it's
nothing
mental.
to them, though, is it?
No,
it's nothing.
They're run by the government as such, aren't they? These clubs.
Yeah, like if you think that
the thing I sent earlier. Sorry, just while we're on about Saudi, just while I remember it, the thing I sent earlier about maybe Saint Maximin going to the Saudi club that are owned by Newcastle.
Yeah,
can you be doing that?
That's fixed, isn't it? That's because they could accept 60 million for him or 100 million for him, so they could spend more money.
Yeah,
in the Premier League.
I don't think you can be buying and selling.
You shouldn't be able to do that.
And what's this I've heard about? The Ronaldo's club's been banned from buying players.
That's what I was just going to say, yeah.
Oh, was that what you were going to say? Yeah.
Yeah. They've been banned until they sort out their debts. Too much debt. It's pretty mental.
It's not going to end well, is it? It's going to be like Russia or China, where it just went mental, and then everyone just ended up. All the clubs just went out of business, and Hulk was still getting paid like £1 million a week or something.
Yeah, now it looks like Party's going there now as well. That apparently personal terms have been agreed.
That's a weird one. Yeah, but personal terms have been agreed, but doesn't mean the clubs will sell him, does it? I was trying to explain this to a few people earlier. It's all right saying that the personal terms are agreed, but like Declan Rice agreed personal terms like in January for this move. Do you know what I mean? I
think back in the day, you used to have to remember the whole thing with Ashley Cole where it was tapping up and stuff like that. Back in the day, you had to agree a fee with the club before you could talk. Now it's like the other way.
I mean, I think they're not technically talking to the player, but like I think the offer gets sort of slid on the table, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like they send they sort of turn around and say, look, if your player puts up a bit of a fuss, we'll give him 100 grand, like 200, 300 grand a week, and then like they start sort of thing. I mean, I think Partey probably will go, which I think is a massive risk as well to Arsenal to let Xhaka and Partey go, who considering they were our sort of strong points last season in the midfield. So,
I've just seen Fabinho has been given permission to complete a move as well to Saudi.
I don't think that is a bit of a. I don't think that's a miss for him. He was awful last season.
Yeah, they're going to get Lavia now. They're waiting for that.
Do you reckon? Yeah. I just think. Yeah, Liverpool need a big change up in that midfield, and so far they're doing it. If they get that Lavia, who looked like a good player, I mean, but again, buying a 18, 19-year-old for 40, 50 million off a relegated club doesn't sound like you're going in the right direction, does it?
No.
I mean,
and then it's old Harry Maguire been stripped of the old thing. He's going to go West Ham surely now, ain't he?
Yeah, I would have thought so. I see that earlier actually when one of you texted saying he'd been stripped. Then about 10 minutes later, I went online and saw it. Yeah, I mean, I think he has to move.
Can you?
Do you know what? I generally like Harry Maguire. I think he's a nice lad. I think he's not a bad little player. He's just low on confidence. I mean, personally, I wouldn't want him at Arsenal. I'm going to say that. But if I could have Harry Maguire that plays for England, I'd have him at Arsenal. But he's just too inconsistent, isn't he? And he's just got no confidence at Man United. And I think it's a time move. And West Ham is a bit of a step down for him. But I mean, if he has one or two, he's still rarely young. And what's he like late 20s? Is he? He's not 30 yet, is he?
No, I think he's about 28, isn't he? 28, 29, something like that.
I mean, if he had two good seasons at West Ham, say, he could get another big move easily.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's not like this is like a final move for him. Like, it's,
West Ham are European champions.
Well,
no, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a step down, though, isn't it?
What about Newcastle making their record bid? I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. The geezer from Napoli.
The winger.
The winger. I haven't seen it. To be fair, I haven't seen this, but they only bought him
82 million.
Is it really?
They've made a bid of 82 million for him today.
That's mad, days. That's a lot of money. Again, that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of money for a winger that's never played in the Premier League. Only had one good season, and they won the league, so they had a great season. I say good season. They had an unbelievable season. He scored loads of goals as well, didn't he? And got loads of assists. Seemed to be like player of the month every time on FIFA. But like, it's a lot of money, isn't it? But 88 million or whatever, 82 million, whatever you just said, for a player that's never played in the Premier League, you've seen some massive players flop in, massive names. We spoke about two earlier in Crespo and Shevchenko. Neither of them really. Varane, he was a Serie A winner, went to Man United, didn't really do a lot. Went to Chelsea, did even less.
Yeah,
there's been some massive players that have.
Yeah, I can see what he's saying. Like, he's English, obviously he played the league, and it's less of a gamble than paying however much he paid for Pepe.
Yeah.
And players like that, and Mudryk to Chelsea. Yeah. So I do get that. But how are also we're just going to ramble on for a bit. How are Brentford paying 50 million for someone?
There's a lot of money in the Premier League, isn't it? Staying in the Premier League.
A lot of money.
I mean, has the TV rights hit 100 million yet? I mean, if they get it, and then probably sell it. I'd imagine Brentford sell out their stadium most weeks, don't they? It's not a massive stadium. It's quite a new stadium as well. So I mean, I imagine, I mean, they must be one of the few clubs that actually make some money. I would have thought.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot of money, like you said, for a guy that's
got like goals. Like, wasn't even like their number one striker last year. They played that other fella, didn't they, up top? I ain't gonna pronounce his name.
Aweyu.
Yeah, like talking.
I do think he's a good player though.
What about Brennan Johnson?
Yeah, I think
He's
every time I see him,
alright,
he looks good.
I mean, again, we're talking 50. You're talking 40 plus million plus add-ons.
He's worth that to Forest, though. It's the Forest guy, isn't it? He's worth that to them because he's their main striker. So I get it.
But he's not their main striker, is he? He's not. He barely played. Like that other bloke started more times.
Yeah, no, away whatever his name is. He was their main.
I mean, he played a lot. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of them were subs, and that other guy was their top goal scorer. I'm sure of it.
And when he did come on, I think he come on a wing, didn't he? He didn't really play up front.
Pushed out on a wing. I mean, obviously, Brentford are a bit stuck, aren't they? Because they need a striker, don't they?
Yeah,
they've got to buy a striker. They need to buy a striker. I don't care what that Thomas Frank says. Oh no, we don't really need him. We got that. Whatever Mumbo, or whatever his name is, and Wassa, or whatever his name. But they need a striker. They need a proper striker.
I've actually got the stats for top scorer for Nottingham Forest last season.
Yeah, go on.
Brendan Johnson was actually tied with the guy that you just mentioned on 8.
Yeah.
But the season before that, Brendan Johnson was the top scorer, so he has been a good player for them.
How many goals did he get in the championship?
Like 21, 22.
It's not many in the championship, is it?
No. He's not prolific, but he's their best player, like their best scorer.
in the championship. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. Like,
no, there's something I wanted to ask. I wanted to get your thoughts on what's going on with Lukaku. Have you seen it? He was trying to force a move, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he got the move, didn't he? They accepted 36.8 million or something, which is ridiculously cheap. I'd have Lukaku for that.
Yeah, I think Chelsea accepted it, but now he's sniffing after Juventus.
He rejected the personal terms, didn't he? Yeah. After he said he would take a pay cut.
And he's gone AWOL now, apparently. He says he's not reporting to training or anything.
For 36.8 million, I'd have him at Arsenal.
Yeah.
I really would. I really would. I mean, like, how many goals has he scored in the Premier League already? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And for that money,
that's
not really a risk, is it?
It was at his best when he was at Everton, which is mental, really.
Yeah. And he was at West Brom for a couple of years where he absolutely smashed it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
He wasn't bad at Chelsea the first time, though, was he?
He never really got gamed. He went out on loan a few times, didn't he?
And then when he came back, he got a little run, didn't he?
Yeah,
and then he went to...
I think he went on loan to Everton, and then Everton bought him, didn't they?
Yeah, that is what happened. I think he did 2 years at West Brom on loan, then did a year at Everton on loan, and then I think they brought him because I think Mourinho just didn't like his attitude or something. Which was ironic because then he was the manager of Man United when they brought Lukaku.
Yeah.
But then that didn't end well for him there either. So
no.
But I rate Lukaku. I think, mate, the size of him, the pace on him. So,
he's not a bad player at all.
I'm just saying, I'm going to put it out there. If they're accepting 36.8 million for him, Chelsea are, I would go in and buy him straight away.
Yeah, I think I probably would for that.
I mean, why ain't Brentford doing that? I mean, obviously, he wouldn't go to Brentford. He wouldn't go to Brentford, would he? But
no, they wouldn't be able to pay his wages, I doubt, would they?
No, because he's one thing, he's going to be on unbelievable wages, isn't he? But
also, something else I wanted to mention. I don't really want to get into the old, actual news. I want to keep to football. But Mendy
got away with all his charges.
I personally proven innocent, but his career's done.
I personally wouldn't sign him. Too much of a flight risk. Imagine him doing something else. I know he got not guilty, but sounds a bit dodgy, mate. When you got double-digit women coming forward, it sounds all a bit fishy.
I don't want to get into it too much because obviously it's not football. But if you look at Mason Greenwood, where there's audio recordings and stuff, and he's going back to train with Man United, surely that's worse than Mendy being found not guilty. That never went to trial, the Greenwood stuff.
Yeah, but they just had a baby as well, which is even weirder.
I think Mendy should sue the shit out of Man City because they stopped paying him, didn't they?
Yeah.
They stopped paying him his wages.
There's
and
probably some
innocent.
Thing is, he's probably not going to win that, is he? Because Man City have probably got all the money in the world, didn't they? They're by the best agents. I mean, they're probably just paying. He's probably got enough money, and like I say, he can go back playing football now. And looking at the photos of him walking in and out of court, it looks like he's kept in shape, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's put on.
Yeah, but who's going to buy him now? I know even though he's innocent, he's still got the name now. His reputation done.
Yeah, but you look at a few players. Ched Evans, he went to prison for 2 years, got out, then got it overturned, and now he's still playing football now. I know he's not as high profile, but
lower level, isn't it?
It does happen.
Yeah, he's going to have to go abroad, isn't he? Maybe Saudi.
It won't bother him, will he? He'll love Saudi, won't he? He'll love all that.
It'd be all over Saudi.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? They've got no respect for women, so they'll probably, do you know what I mean? They'll probably go over there. But it's just weird, isn't it?
I think it's a bit mad that he was found innocent after all this time.
I
His
think
career's just
I
done.
watched a bit of it. Like I said, I don't go into it, but a few of the women, because I watched a bit of it, started pulling their claims away, so it was getting less, wasn't it? And then there was one woman that was still chatting to him like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Whilst like giving evidence against him. Like, what's that about?
I'm going to put this out there. Then women should do the same time he should have done if he was found guilty.
So I would say I'd agree. If he's found not guilty, they should now be on the stand for lying.
Yeah. And they should get the same time he would have got.
Yeah, definitely. But we're not in the Parliament. We're not talking about that. Right,
Order.
We'll probably cut that bit out. Let's not get involved in that.
Right. What I want to go through now is our fantasy Premier League teams.
So weirdly, I was just, well, no, I weren't just because I've been here, but a little while ago, I just watched a video of fantasy football, and it was like who they call them the scouts, who the scouts think you should pick, and some of them I thought were absolutely ridiculous, and there's no way that player's going anywhere near my team. But they did have a few where I thought was actually quite impressive, and I thought, yeah, that's going to make me think about my team.
Should we go through them?
Well, you're going to go through your team?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go through my team, so I'm going to keep it close to my chest, but...
You sent it to me the other day.
Yeah, I know, but that was privately.
It's probably good. Mine's probably going to... I don't mind going through mine. Mine's going to probably change loads before we actually start.
Oh, yeah, mine is as well. I've already changed mine from when I said it to you.
Oh, yeah.
About four times.
Go on, do yours first, Bill.
Go on, then.
Yeah.
I've got my two goalkeepers, Pickford and Areola.
Yeah.
I've got Andrew's mate, Pedro Porro. Luke Shaw, Ake, Matty Cash, and Reece James.
Yeah.
Mount, Son, and Cisco, or his name is Brighton
lad, yeah.
Brighton guard, yeah.
McAllister and Brennan Johnson, but I will change that if he doesn't go to Brentford.
Right, okay. Yeah, because
Kane,
they're spending 50 on him. He's starting every game, isn't he?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
And then I've gone Kane, Ferguson for Brighton, and Haaland.
So you stole Ferguson because I've got him.
Oh, have you? Well, I saw they had Luton because I put in Cisco in, and I was like, oh, they've got Luton. Yeah, I'll fuck it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I like what you've done with the defenders. I've done a lot of fantasy footballs over the years, so here's a bit of advice. I like what you've done with the defenders, picked all fullbacks. Fullbacks generally get more points than centre-backs. The only minor issue with that, they don't generally go up for corners, but they generally get more assists and do score more goals than centre-backs. So that's a clever idea going for 5. I like your midfield as well. You don't have any holding midfielders. A lot of people make mistakes. Like, there'll be a lot of Arsenal fans that throw Declan Rice in. As much as I rate Declan Rice, he ain't going to get you many points in fantasy football. It's just not going to happen.
That's why they're so cheap, aren't they?
Yeah. He's not going to score, he's not unless he scores a wonder goal, he's probably not going to score many goals, is he? Because he's never
risk of getting sent off and booked every game as well. That's the problem. The risk of getting booked.
Massive yellow card, massive yellow cards every game, isn't there, for the holding midfielder? That's why there's no point having Rodriguez. That's why I've never had Kante's in the team, even though Kante, I think, was one of the best holding midfielders in the Premier League for a few years. Yeah. So I mean, it's good what you've done there,
but it probably will change it quite a lot.
I wanted to put Ferguson in, but I had too many Brighton players.
Wow. That is a risk, isn't it? I've got
in on Brighton.
But
I've got in on Brighton.
I was thinking of putting Rashford in because he's down as a midfielder on the game, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's going to be playing. He's probably going to be playing number 9 because they don't look like Man United to sign anyone anytime soon. So he'll probably go into my team because you'll get another striker in there, won't you?
Yeah. That is true.
I'll go through my team. I'm not that worried about it, but just try and get it up now.
Everyone take notes. This is Barron's team.
Yeah. Oh, mine will change. Mine will change massively.
Yeah. That's why I don't mind now because mine will change definitely.
Chelsea have just signed an 18-year-old winger as well. Did you know that?
Benfica, I just saw it. Yeah.
Angelo Gabriel. He made his debut at 15 years old, youngest ever Brazilian in the Brazilian league. If you want to know that.
Whilst you're looking at that, I watched. Yeah. I'll just be really quick. I watched him thinking the other day where Messi picked his players to look out for. Like it must have been about 7-8 years ago or something.
Oh yeah, go
Patrick
on.
Roberts was in it.
Was he really?
God.
Can't always
Loads
get
of
him.
players are just
I saw one about the England team, right? So this was like, I think it was the 2010 like World Cup or like Euros, whatever it was, and then they did a 10-year advance thing, and like there's one. I think there's like one player in the team. They had Michael Johnson. Now you probably won't remember who Michael Johnson is because I only know him through Football Manager. He played for Man City, and on Football Manager, he was like became one of the best midfielders in the game. Now he got a bad knee injury when he was like about 18 or something, and then went into massive depression. And then the Sun released a picture of him going, "This bloke is still on 40 grand a week and has not played for the club for 3 years." And I swear to God, he was bigger than me, like fatter than me. He was huge. He like because he just drank and drank and drank, and I don't even know what he's up to these days. And he was
I've seen
like
a couple of them. They're quite funny.
Yeah, and I think Walcott was in the starting lineup. I mean, I know Walcott probably did. He was probably the best player out of the lot of them. Do you know what I mean? He was.
Yes.
Who was it? I think Micah Richards was in it as well. I suppose he did. He had an okay career, didn't he? But there were some mad players in there, like players I've never even heard of, and that.
Yeah.
Scott Sinclair, I think, was the left winger.
Oh God!
Oh shit!
I mean, he never did anything, did he? But yeah, I do like looking at these, like where are they now, sort of players. Right,
Yeah,
so basically, what I do with my team, everyone, just quickly, is I kind of spend all my money on my starting 11. So my subs are generally players that will never play a single minute of any game for any team forever. So the bench boost is completely pointless for me. So I'll go from my starting 11 currently. So I've gone for Edison in goal because he's just not going to concede many goals, is he?
No.
And then I've got a back three of Pinnock of Brentford and Emerson of West Ham because I actually think he's actually pretty decent, to be fair.
I rate him.
And I've actually gone for, I know I've broken my own rule here, but he scored a lot of goals last season. I've gone for Gabriel, centre back. I've gone 3-4-3, and my four midfielders at the moment, currently, which might change, is Saka, Odegaard, McAllister, and Salah. But like I just said, I will probably get Rashford in there somewhere because I think it's handy having a midfielder in your team that plays up front for their team.
Yeah.
And then I've got a front three of Haaland, Isaac, and Ferguson. And then my bench is a bloke that I can't even pronounce, who is Sarnik, who's a goalkeeper. Then I've got that Vintinho of Burnley, who I think is like a fullback. Not Patrick Kluivert, because he would be well old. Justin Kluivert.
Patrick Kluivert.
And Tariq Lamptey, if anyone remembers him, of Brighton. I think he was injured all last season.
That's not a bad little bench, actually. Is that Justin Kluivert will play?
Yeah, and that Lamptey, if he stays fit, will play, because he was actually Brighton's right back for quite a while before he got injured.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I like that. I don't know if I'm honest, I think McAllister will probably get left out. If I can, because I just think not too sure how well he'll do, or Odegaard might get taken.
I tried playing around with a team that had Salah, Haaland, and Kane in it, but it was just the rest of the team was
too expensive.
I've done that before. I've done that before, where I've had like De Bruyne, Kane, and someone else. Aguero, I think it was at the time, and then the rest of my team, and thinking that will work. But yeah, you end up playing with like 9 players sometimes, and your bench is rubbish. And
so neither of us got De Bruyne so far, though.
He's going to miss the first game of the season.
So what I think with De Bruyne is, as much as I love him, and I think he's a fantastic footballer, I think he's well expensive for this game, and Pep just messes up your fantasy team. You know, whether you like Pep or not, I hate him. I absolutely hate him because you can guarantee you that I'll have Haaland. And so I lost my cup final in my big league that I do like last year because Haaland didn't play a minute. I lost it by a point.
Oh, shit.
If Haaland had played 1 minute of the game, or De Bruyne, because I had him in as well, had played 1 minute of the game, they would have got 1 point. I would have won the cup.
Not good. Not good.
I'm going to go through mine, but I don't have him either. But yeah, we'll see what we think. So I've gone with Johnson in goal because I had a few team of the week performances last season. I thought he's a decent shout. So my back four, I've got Alexander-Arnold, Trippier, Estupinian. I think I've said that right, from Brighton, and Sven Botman. So the one centre back I've got, just because I had him last year and he did really well for me, so got him again. 3 midfield, I've got Odegaard, Saka, and Mitoma. And then up front, I've got Haaland, Antonio, who I'm probably going to get rid of, and João Pedro, up for Brighton, the new signing. I think he's probably going to start. And then on the bench, I've got Raya, me, Mbeumo, and McAllister. But if Brentford sign that Brennan Johnson, I'll probably take Mbeumo out.
Do you reckon João Pedro will start? Because they've obviously got Ferguson, haven't they?
Hopefully, they've just spent 40-odd million on him, so I'm assuming that they're going to play him.
I'm not convinced.
Record signing.
No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That Ferguson's been too good to leave out.
I think
and he's not one of the that can play on the wing, is he? Ferguson. He is a proper. He's a proper striker.
Pedro can now. Well, Pedro can play on the wing.
Yeah, I mean.
Then you've got to leave Tomo or Gross.
Gross plays left back. I don't know. Like, I will probably I might put him on the bench for the first game and see sort of how they line up. Because they've got Luton, you kind of want to keep him in.
Well, that's kind of why I went for that Ferguson, because I decided that I needed a bit of a cheaper striker to go in the team because I spent a lot in the midfield. I thought, well, actually, if they're playing Luton the first day of the season and he's fit, he's probably going to play. And I really do see Luton having some dramas. I mean, they just signed another championship player. Do these people know what league they're playing next season?
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about Luton now, I'm not going to lie. The fact that first fixture's been postponed as well, their first home game, because the stadium's not ready. Like, I'm worried about Luton.
I don't really understand why they couldn't just switch it around.
Apparently, they didn't submit some sort of paperwork to the Premier League in time about something to do with safety for fans, so they've had to.
I mean, why couldn't they, who they playing? Brighton. Yeah, why couldn't they just do it at Brighton Stadium instead?
They are. It's not that game that's postponed. They're playing that one because it's at Brighton. It's the one after. It's their first game.
Right, sorry.
So it's the second week.
Right.
I would just like to say, we've got 28 people in our league at the moment.
Yeah, it should be good.
That's not bad. It'll be a good little league.
We'll get some more in. We'll get some more in before. Them little cup things will be interesting. We've got a few in.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the first game of the season. Just want it to start.
Yeah.
Withdrawals.
Yeah, big time.
Mad, isn't it?
Right, time for Barron's quiz.
Right, so I'm looking forward to this quiz. I said this earlier before we came on. And basically, I was having a little look through, and I found, you ready for this? The Ronaldo versus Messi quiz.
Oh.
So it might not be what you think it is, because these questions are pretty good. Now, I don't really know how you want to do it. I don't know if you both want to, if I give you the one question and you both give me an answer for it, and then if you both get it right, we'll just say no point. But if one gets it right, and then we'll do it like that. I've got 10 of them.
Is it multiple choice?
No, you will have to give me an answer.
Okay.
But I will say this is a little bit old, so I might have to gently change the questions a little bit because they're not quite up to date. But they are pretty good. Or I might skip one out if it's a bit rubbish. So cool. So what I'll do is I'll give you the questions both of you. You ain't got to try and buzz in or anything. Both give me an answer. If you both get it right, it's a void question. But yeah, it's all about Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so Messi, this is where it went a bit wrong straight away when I read the question. Messi spent his entire professional career at Barcelona. We know he didn't. He also went to PSG. He's now in Miami. But what was his schoolboy team? Where did he start out?
Okay, I think I know it.
Who did Barcelona buy him from?
Yeah. So if you're saying you don't know it first.
I don't know.
Cool. Is it Newell's something boys?
It is
Newell's Old Boys or something.
It is Newell's Old Boys, yeah. Which is an Argentinian, obviously, team. I can't see. So that was like the first question. Right, the second question is a little bit easier, I think, personally. Which Portuguese team did Ronaldo play for before signing for Manchester United?
No, Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah. I think we can both agree that was thing. Right, Ronaldo is synonymous, that's easy for me to say, with the number 7 shirt. But what number did he wear when he signed for Real Madrid? Oh, see, this is good, isn't it?
Oh.
So he obviously got the number 7 shirt at Real Madrid, didn't he? But when he signed for the club, it wasn't number 7. And I didn't know this.
I'm going to take a guess.
Go on.
17.
Any reason behind 17?
Just thought that it's still a 7, isn't it?
Right, okay.
I'm gonna this is a guess as well. I'm just gonna guess 10.
Oh, I'll tell you, you're close, Andrew. You're very close, but you're both wrong.
9.
It was number 9.
No.
I was thinking number 9, but I thought Benzema was there, wasn't he? I thought he was the number.
He obviously wasn't number 9 at that time either. Right, yeah. So Ronaldo famously signed for Real Madrid and was number 9. Right. So question number 4. Messi famously retired from international duty in which year before reversing his decision?
I'm going to go with... Actually, I'm going to wait to see if Billy is going to guess before I don't give the answer. I mean, I don't know, but it's a guess.
I'm going to say 2016.
We've got 2017.
The answer is 2016. And it was after their Copa...
Before the 2018 World Cup.
It was after the Copa America final loss. He retired and then decided to come. Now, this next question's a bit weird because I've not heard of this before and I thought it was completely something different, but we'll find out. So Ronaldo screams what word when celebrating a goal?
I'm gonna go. I don't know. I don't know it. I'm gonna go with Vamos. I don't know.
Oh, what in English or?
No, it's a word. What word does he scream when he scores a goal, celebrating a goal?
Sui.
See, now I thought it was shoe.
U-U-I.
I thought it was shoe, right, or shoe, or whatever it is. Yeah, so yeah, but it's actually on this quiz question. It's C, Spanish for yes.
Yes.
So does that mean everyone's been shouting the wrong word like at him?
Yeah.
Or has he changed it?
I don't know.
Or did we all just think he was saying the wrong word? I was going to leave that question out, and I thought, no, I'm going to keep it because I thought it was interesting. But isn't that weird?
Oh, we've all been shouting it wrong. Not that we shout it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, I've never shouted it. That's probably the first time I've ever said it. Right. Messi wore the number 30 shirt at the start of his Barcelona career, and he's now the number. Well, that was the number 10. What other number has he worn for his clubs? You're probably going to have to guess this. I didn't know this at all.
Is it 13?
I was going to guess 12.
No, it's not 13. It's not 12. It's actually number 19. I didn't know that. Who knew that? But whatever. Right.
I feel like we need multiple choice for these questions.
Don't come with it. But, I mean, most of them you've got right, to be fair, haven't you? Well.
Bill, have you got any right?
Which Portuguese island off the coast of Africa, which also shares its name with cake, is where Ronaldo is from?
Yeah, I know this.
Madeira.
Yeah, Madeira.
Yeah, correct. Right, that was an easy one. How many times has Messi won the Ballon d'Or?
7.
6.
The answer is 6.
Yeah.
Andrew's got on the board.
Does that count when he wins?
Isn't it?
But he's going to win. Yeah, but he's going to win it again.
Why? You've still got 2
He'll
more
win it again
questions.
this year, won't he? Okay.
Maybe
Right. Sorry. I thought you meant Andrew. Right. Ronaldo helped Portugal win the European Championships in which year?
Oh,
that's got to be
Oh, he's confident.
No, hang on.
No, he's not confident. You should see their faces right now.
I'm going to go 2016.
is that not a World Cup? 2016.
Euro 2020.
2020 World Cup.
I wouldn't answer that because you're going to help him out if you start working out the Euros.
I mean, I don't know which one it is. It could be the one before.
I can't even know what years the World Cups and the Euros are. I'm going to say... What did you say, Andrew? 2016?
Yeah. But I don't know.
I'll go different. So I'll go...
You don't know it?
18.
It was 2016.
Yeah.
2-2. Right, here's a question. Final question of the quiz. If you both get this wrong, I'm going to have to think of another one quickly. Which German multinational sportswear company is Messi an ambassador for?
Oh, it's hang on, I've got to wait to see if it knows it. I think I know it.
Which German
multinational sportswear company is Messi an ambassador for?
What the fuck's a German sportswear? Don't know. No idea. Go on, Andrew.
You got to pass. I think it's Adidas.
Yeah, I don't know it.
It is Adidas. That's Andy. I haven't got to think of a new question.
German.
I knew German. Yeah,
I didn't know Adidas was German. I'm going to get rid of this top in a minute.
World Cup documentary. There was a whole thing on it, weren't it? Adidas. There was some corruption with FIFA and Adidas, and it was in that documentary.
Oh, maybe.
Can I also just point out though that Messi has won 7 Ballon d'Ors, and your question's out. Your question's wrong. Your answer.
Is it really?
No, it actually is.
I did say it a bit out of date.
2009, 11, 12, 13, 16, 19, and 21.
Yeah, I did say they were a bit out of date. Well, do you want me to switch
do have
that
to
back
ask
round?
another question.
Do you want me to switch that back round? Right, okay then.
So I win.
You do win, technically, yeah. You'll win 3-2.
I call foul play there. That's
But we had fun. I believe you. No, I can't see it on your phone. No. I do believe you. But it was good. I like the idea of the quiz.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
I might do another one. Find 2 different players. Might do a Haaland and Mbappe one.
I enjoyed it. We have got a couple of listener
well.
questions as well.
Yeah, so
which are kind of like quizzes.
Okay. Oh, in a minute, 1 minute. So Andrew, you've got to do the quiz next week.
Yeah.
Because I know you love doing quizzes. Right, go on then.
So, it's off Harry again. And he said, Barron, you might know this because you listen to Talk Sport.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Can you name the 4 pools to win the Premier League?
No. I can have a guess at with you.
I already know them. Well,
No,
guess 3.
2 I think are pretty obvious ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
I've got 3 actually, I think now.
I've got three.
So who do you want to who wants to go? Well, obviously Paul Scholes is definitely
I've got him.
Yeah.
Did Paul Ince win it?
Yeah.
I did as well.
Paul Merson?
Nah.
No, Paul Merson. Okay.
The other one played for Man United. So when he originally asked me, I said, does Paulo Ferreira count? Because, it's only an hour.
Right, yeah.
But he didn't.
Gascoigne didn't win it, did he?
Nah.
That's
The
fine.
one with
Man
Man
United
United before our time.
Paul
no.
Konchesky? Paul Konchesky?
Konchesky.
Yeah, was his name Paul?
No,
Yeah,
Phil.
I think it was. That was it. Oh.
It was. The other Man United one, we ain't going to get it. I don't think you get it. It was Paul Parker.
No, I never even heard of him.
Oh,
And the other one
guy.
played for
I know
Blackburn.
who he is.
The other one played for Blackburn.
Yeah, I literally had no
I won't
idea.
get that then. So Tim Flowers, Graham Lasso, Tim Sherwood played in that, Alan Shearer.
I'd never even heard of him. This person that won it. Paul Warhurst.
No,
No, mad. Only four Pauls have won a Premier League.
It's obviously not a very popular name.
And an even crazier stat,
Go on.
only one single Paul, this is from Harry as well, only one single Paul played a game in the Premier League last year. And he played one solitary game. You know, it is. Plays for Newcastle, if that helps in any way.
Paul Dummett.
Yeah. So in the whole of the Premier League, only one person named Paul.
Maybe Gary isn't the name going out of fashion, and it's Paul.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's mental.
Gary and Paul are screwed, aren't they?
Yeah. I know two of them, they're brothers.
Oh, shit. It's quite funny. And the second question is obviously off Tom. He said, excluding your club rivals, so you can't pick Spurs, if you could get rid of any club on the planet, who would you get rid of and why?
Man City.
Just to stop them winning.
Yeah. No, right. If I could pick someone like out of history, I probably would get rid of Man United because I just think there's so many Man United fans that live down south and just like obviously because of the age that they are, it's just annoying, isn't it? Because you don't even know where Manchester's in the map, mate. Let alone so don't come at me about Arsenal and that. But yeah, in the current era, if Man City didn't exist, that would be quite handy.
I'll go similar along your lines, but say Liverpool because I think they're the same.
There's a lot of
fans
Southern,
everywhere,
there's a lot
aren't
of
they?
Southern fans
Don't
there,
know.
isn't there?
Never
been to Anfield.
Yeah. I mean, I support Sunderland. I live down south, so I can't really speak. But family ties.
Yeah, but you're not sitting there screaming and singing 5 Champions League. Well, you might do if they won 5 Champions League, yeah.
I would be.
Yeah. I'd be one of them.
Go on, Andrew.
I think I'll probably get rid of Chelsea. I can't stand their fans.
Chelsea have never bothered me.
Them and their fucking European trophies, honestly, it's all over here from them. And I know that if we just win one, then we'll get, But Chelsea gets under my skin, other than obviously Tottenham.
I know what you mean.
Does get me
I do know
more than many
what you
other
mean.
clubs. So yeah, I'd definitely pick Chelsea.
I don't think they had many fans, if I'm honest with you.
Chelsea?
Yeah. I mean, if you when you go abroad and everyone's got football, like all the English people got football kits on, you never see a Chelsea one.
No, that's true.
It's always Man United, isn't it, really?
It's Man United.
You can walk around London all day and not see a Chelsea shirt. You'll see a Spurs, a West Ham, or an Arsenal one before you see a Chelsea.
You get a lot of Spurs and West Ham where I live, loads. But West Ham is literally like 45 minutes on a train, so it's quite an easy train journey. You get a lot of West Ham.
Where do all the Chelsea fans live?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we need to get Chelsea fans on.
Yeah, to be fair, I know this sounds stupid, but when I get the train to Arsenal, I know obviously they try and separate the games, don't they? Like, London and that. But yeah, I don't generally see many Chelsea fans on the train when I get on it.
No, it's just not something I see a lot. I don't see a lot of Chelsea shirts.
And like when I walk around St Pancras, because that's obviously where I get off. Yeah, you see a few of the away fans in the Wetherspoons there. But other than that, you don't really see a lot of. Yeah, you don't. It's a good question. Where are you, Chelsea? Both Manchester clubs.
So yeah, Barron's gone for both Manchester clubs.
I know you only went one, but I'll go with both Manchester clubs.
Andrew's gone for Chelsea. And I've gone for Liverpool.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I know you said don't. I wouldn't have even picked Spurs if I could have picked Spurs, because I quite like having a rivalry.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Like having, yeah.
I want to play something. And to be fair, they ain't been that good, are they? They're not that good. They've had a couple of good seasons, and that's it. And even then, they ain't been that good.
It's all right for you, because we haven't had any in a long time, and I've been missing them. By the time we get up, they're going to be like European champions, Premier League champions.
It must be a horrible, horrible time to be like a Sunderland fan, knowing that you're. I think I would cry if Spurs were brought by like a rich Saudi bloke, and I knew that they would end up spending millions and millions, and we would get spanked by them every week.
It's not the best time of my life.
Yeah,
but what can you do? I hope they get done for this St. Maximum going to the other.
Yeah.
Or the Saudis just go, you know what, I don't really want this club anymore. Bored of it.
I mean, they must have decided together, didn't they? They must have just rang each other up one day and went, should we just start buying all the players around Europe? Try and make who wants to play football in that heat?
Have you seen them? The two guys from Italy have gone as well. Brozovic has just gone there. He's a fucking good player. And the Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio.
We were linked with him in January,
Yeah.
FIFA next year, everyone's going to have Saudi League.
What do you think? It's EAFC, isn't it? And what's the other one called?
Yeah.
Don't know, but EAFC has got the Ultimate Team.
Yeah, I'll get it. Oh, I always
They've
get
got
it
women
every year.
in the team
They've
this year.
got the men and women in the same ultimate team. They've got like Sam Kerr
Yeah.
91. That's confirmed in the same. I don't like it. I don't like it in the same team. Like I would play the women's one if it was. I don't know. I just like to have the men and women in different teams because that's how it is in real life. Like
I know it sounds ridiculous, yeah, like it is a game, but I do kind of want it to be realistic as well.
Yeah.
I probably won't buy it. I'll be honest with you.
FIFA's never been crazy realistic, obviously, because
Yeah.
like with all the cards that come out, it's stupid, insane.
I think they need to back down it a bit. Where like when I first started playing Ultimate Team, you had your gold card, you had your black card, and then you had your end of season blue card, like team of the year. And then if someone broke a record or something in the season, you might get a special card, but that would be about it. But how often the records get broken in a season? Not that often, do they? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think they need month cards. I think that they're all right as long as they're not crazy, like in the 90s or anything.
But like some of them, like if you wanted to get that Mbappe 94 card, you had to give away like 390 teams. That's costing you how much?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think as well, like I stopped playing after like 3 or 4 months because everyone just had 90 rated players and it was just a bit pointless. It weren't really fun.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see some like 91 rated woman flying past Silver. Just knocks him off. Silver.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. I probably won't invest in EA or the other one that comes out. I'm straight Football Manager. And Hemel Hempstead stayed up another season, 3 years in a row. Thank you very much. But I've got to stop buying wingers and I need to buy defenders.
I'll buy FIFA just because Football Manager doesn't come out until like fucking, was it October, November, ain't it?
Normally it's early November, isn't it?
So I can get a few solid months of wasting my money on Ultimate Team before Football Manager comes out.
That's why I'm not going to do it, mate. I'm not going to do it. I'm not spending any more money on FIFA. I've had enough. I'll say that now. Ask me in September.
You'll 100% buy it.
Yeah, I mean, my missus works in a toy shop and gets discount on the game, so I'll probably buy it.
Couple of weeks' time, so I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, on the points, a couple of years ago, I did get the game free.
Did you?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because she got because she's the manager, she got given it, and so she just like downloaded it onto my PlayStation because she ain't got one. Like, got given a code by obviously legit and nothing illegal. But like EA
incriminating his girlfriend.
Yeah. It was all illegal. But the only problem is I couldn't buy the ultimate pack, so then I had to go on there and spend like £100 to get the ultimate stuff anyway. So I was really sure I didn't really save much money.
Nah, I'll invest, but I won't be going crazy on the Ultimate Team. I might not even play Ultimate Team. Might just go on a bit of career mode, see what's new on there.
That's not bad. That's not bad idea.
I think you won't do, will you? You go on it, you'll see Ultimate Team, and then you'll just go on it. Like,
yeah, because FIFA's boring, I think, without Ultimate Team.
One play is boring, yeah.
Yeah, like the career mode is just so easy. It's just like you can buy anyone you want. Like I did when in lockdown, I started when I was Leighton Orient, that's season we say. And I brought all like youngsters. I brought like Saka, who was like 16 at the time, and I brought that, and I would turn them all into like 99s. And I weren't, in the end, I was playing like full manager. I was just skipping the games.
Yeah,
skipping the games and just playing the finals because that's all I was doing.
Does get a bit boring.
Yeah.
Might give it a go.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, quick one. I need a new game to play on my PlayStation, so I'm going to throw it out there to the listeners. If anyone's got a good game, a sports game, because that's all I really play is sport games, give me a shout.
There you go.
And just going to do one more, which is a bit weird, but it's a bit sentimental to me. Just going to do a quick shout out, if that's all right with you, lads. Today, my father walked at a 3K fun run. I know that sounds a bit pathetic, but he, a year ago, or 18 months ago, he got given cancer and couldn't walk, couldn't get out of bed. So he's come a long way. So I'm just going to give the old man a shout out. Well done, Dad.
Well done.
So,
yeah, 3K this afternoon. When I saw him, cheered him on. Probably embarrassed him a bit because I was literally shouting, "Go on!
Go on, Dad."
withdrawals. Then Saka, I mean, Dad.
Yeah, so yeah, good on him. Right, that is the three of us, the three amigos, signing out again. Hope you like the five-a-side team. I'd love to hear your ideas on Declan Rice. Too much money, not like is he Gareth Barry in disguise or whoever. I think that was quite a good one tonight. I enjoyed it. Tune in again next week where we'll come up with some other ideas, and we might even try and get a guest on if he doesn't decide to go on another date. I hope he flops and burns. Right. And on that note, right, bombshell, we will see you next week.
Also, the link for our fantasy league is going to be in the description of our episode of YouTube. So get involved and join up.